So you guys travel outside, and after a moment, Sergeant Lorax walks out and greets you. Kind of says that everything's done in there at this point. He looks around at the forest, and he's like, God damn it. That corruption got everywhere. We didn't stop it.
Do you know what happened to what caused the corruption?
I mean, there's mixed reports. We know that the life tree was destroyed at some point. That resulted in corruption getting spread around the entire forest. Oh God, there were so many dead elves, but the problem was they all came back as corrupted zombies. We had to kill them 3 or 4 times.
Have you ever heard you just knew you needed to burn the body? It stops them from coming back.
Nah, we figured out how to make him stop coming back. And he takes out one of his revolvers and opens up the drum. And as you look in, you see that each one of the bullets that is in the revolver is actually glowing purple. And he informs you that he has these things called anti-corruption rounds that they developed that are specifically designed to kill corrupted things. However, they were only effective under certain means at the time, and they really, the only thing that they kind of do is they make sure things stay dead. But the forest kept producing things at such a rate that it was almost overwhelming to even use them.
I'm going to lean into Sergeant Laura. He's like, do they come in double up, Buck?
Not these ones, kiddo. Maybe if you know somebody that knows anything about guns.
I do!
Who are you, kid?
Lieutenant Dan. Sir.
Lieutenant Dan, you got yourself a nice rifle right there.
Thank you.
You said you know somebody who knows things about guns?
I know a few people who know things about guns.
You'll have to introduce me, kid. I need an upgrade.
Shouldn't what's the name be like in the back of the steel horse?
Oh, yeah. I didn't actually say that he came with you, but I'll say he came with you, because he's useful.
I'm gonna resign myself to fate.
Oh, God.
I'm gonna walk behind Sergeant Lorax, and I'm going to introduce myself while showing because he's in an elven temple, and I'm going to try and introduce myself as a representative of the elven people, or the remains of the elves.
Do I see Draylar coming out?
Roll a search check for me to see if you notice that.
So I see him, right?
You do, yes.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump onto Draylar's back. I'm going to cover his ears.
All right, so you do that. You jump on Draylar's head and you cover his ears. Veldos, you're going to let him do this?
Go along with it. Just go along with it. As I'm holding his hand.
I'm going to let myself fall on my back and let my full weight sink on the frog. And to add insult to injury, I'm going to add a few extra kilograms using the amulet. It's more to pin him down.
Okay, you just let yourself fall backwards and you fall on the ground after Cham jumps on your head, and Sergeant Lorax turns around and looks at you like, "Oh, who are you?"
I'm trying to hide his ears!
Okay, you're going to stay clinging on to his head. Veldos, do you want to shake him off? Okay.
I'm going to roll strength to elbow him in his frog testicles.
Oh.
Do frogs have testicles? Like, I know we're frogs, but like,
I think they're inside you. I'm going to say you're going to roll 1d6 for damage. That'll be multiplied by 2, and Cham, you will be stunned by this.
Hey, Cham, I'm sorry.
Okay, it's only going to be 2 damage. So
it's going to be like a flick.
Well, he's using his elbow and he rolled a d20, so it's still going to stun you. It's kind of like one of those things where like you're just going to be on the ground for a little bit holding your nuts. So, Velnos, now that he has been removed from your head, Sergeant Lorax can see your ears. So you said you just want to... So you can take this for now. So what do you want to do? How do you want to approach this?
I want to greet him as a representative of the surviving elves of the former Elven Forest after the disaster that happens out of the blue.
Such an awesome event.
And I'm going to try and shake his hand.
Okay, so you put your hand out. Sergeant Lorax, his initial reaction to seeing your ears is he goes for one of his revolvers, but as you introduce yourself and put your hand out, he has it about half out of the holster, and he then proceeds to put it back for a second and kind of looks around. You know, I killed a lot of you. Village after village after village. But I didn't think you deserved shit like this. Nice to meet you.
Back a bit for the comment of killing after killing after killing. And and I'm going to inquire on the motive.
It was war, kid. That's what you do.
Trust me, given that I am a, former captain of the guard, now a proper representative of the surviving elves of the Elven Forest, I do know that war is war. I am going to reassure him that I do not bear any animosity, for I do understand that war is war, and given that it is over, I would greet him more as a comrade than an enemy.
He reaches his hand out and kind of echoes your sentiments pretty much, and says that he's willing to come with you guys and willing to accept an elf at this point, since shit's gotten a lot worse. He still hates you, but it's kind of out of pity that, like, he doesn't want to kill you anymore. It's like, I don't like you, but I don't think you deserve that.
What was happening here before? You did mention undead, but was there anything else regarding the temple? What this temple is actually for or not, if you do?
I got no idea, kid. I was in and out of consciousness at the time. Steve would have known, but... So you guys are going to head back to the Iron Bull with Sergeant Lorax, and he's going to join your crew to fight a new war in a new century. He's like Captain America, but short and orange and fuzzy, and he kills a lot of people.
And he's still racist.
Yes, he is. Highly racist against elves. So you get back, and the princess is actually very excited to see Sergeant Lorax because he looks very adorable to her. Oh, look at you. Look what you found out there. What are you? My name is Sergeant Lorax. I work for the Kalgarian Ranger Corps. So she takes him inside the ship, and it's kind of, she shows him to Syra, and Syra just kind of like shoos him away. Timmy, too, has finished fixing the Iron Bull, and he's ready to continue on with your journey. Now, I'm going to do a D20 roll to see if you run into anything before you hit the other side, or if you want to do anything else around the Elven Forest before you leave.
I'm gonna go pee on one of the trees.
All right, so Kane, roll Constitution to go piss on that tree.
Gotcha.
You know what? It's been a while since I took a piss next to my brother. I'm gonna do the same.
That's adorable. You guys both
Sweet
go.
home Alabama.
Sham, you're able to write out Curtis. Kane, your dick is just like one of those like water carving guns, and you just kind of engrave your name.
It's a
into
pressure
the side of the
washer.
tree. Essentially, yes.
Yeah, I can clean my car with this bitch.
You can take paint off your car with that. So you guys are going to load back up into the Iron Bull and travel further through the forest. I rolled a 9 for you guys to run into anything, which means you're not going to. So you guys emerge from the other side into Kalgar, finally back where you started your first campaign. After a little bit of kind of dead space that's in between the wall that walls off the Elven Forest and the lush green hills, there's kind of like this DMZ type zone, basically, where they have a bunch of these little things to hopefully help them stop anything that comes out. So you guys are on the other side of the wall, and now you guys are proceeding forward. So you do have maps of Kalgar. So the closest area to you is a military fort named Fort Cleve. And this would be in the old Empire if you were looking at the older map, but at this point it's now the Empire of Kalgar. Those two nations have now merged. So are you guys going to go to Fort Cleve, or are you going to try and travel somewhere else?
Let's go Fort Cleve.
No, let's
we
go
can
Fort
get some
Cleve. They
cool
might have
military stuff there.
Yeah, they might have some pretty good stuff in
They
there.
might have some whores.
I mean, it is a military base.
We know for a fact they'll have alcohol and probably drugs.
Oh, definitely both.
Do I still have some of the Green Dragon?
Yes, you do.
I'm gonna bring up my pipe.
Roll Constitution.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's gonna be one hell of a
you
high.
are right where you want to be. You are right where you want to be. You're grooving out. You're like Kermit the Frog sitting on that log in the swamp. All right, so Timmy 2 pulls into Fort Cleve, and as they do, the Kalgarian guards approach the side of the Iron Bull. They're kind of cautious because they weren't really expecting anybody to show up from the gate, especially since all the travel had been cut off for the last couple of months. So you guys are kind of the first people that have gone through that they've seen in a while. So you can decide how you want to handle this. There is a captain outside who's asking for you to come out.
I'm gonna step outside. I'm gonna have like one of those straw hats, like a samurai. I'm just gonna walk towards him.
You do that. I'm gonna say you have that just because you're a weeboo frog, sir. Frog man thing. Who are you? Where do you hail from? What's happened?
Oh, we are people from far away. Yes, we are many people. We come from a land taken.
Syra face palms.
Don't mind the bitch.
As you're talking to the captain, the princess and the others also descend down the back ramp of the Iron Bull, and the guards are starting to put their weapons away as they realize this is kind of doesn't seem that you're hostile.
We are only here to see if you have some wares and a possible place to rest. We have been traveling for ages.
It's been like a week.
Well, you're welcome to stay here if you wish. What are your names? Actually, you, the young woman. What is your name? Oh, I'm Veronica of Nexus, the princess. And as soon as she says that, the guard then looks like he craps himself.
Don't, sir, don't. It's a bit that we are trying to come up with a play. She's supposed to represent a princess.
I'm sorry, sir. We have word that if we ever come in contact with her, she needs to go to Kalgar Palace immediately.
Kalgar, these nuts.
She's trying to get into character.
I don't think you understand. The king has been worried sick. They haven't had word from Nexus in almost 8 months. We thought she was dead.
We are not from there. We are travelers who comes up with stories.
Okay, you're going to have to roll to convince him of this at this point. Okay, and I'm going to roll his intelligence to see if he believes you. He gets a +2. He did. Okay, he believes you. He believes that you are a traveling band of actors and actresses, but he does offer you the ability to stay there for the next night and resupply.
Sweet. I toss him a gold coin.
He takes the gold coin. He says that you can park the transport vessel inside, and there are sleeping arrangements in one of the non-used bunk areas. So as you go inside the fort, you notice that there's, it's not massive. It's big enough to house, a good amount of soldiers. It's a normal fort that you would find along the southern border of Kalgar. And in it, you have a few amenities. You have basically a functioning inn/whorehouse. You have some areas where you can buy stuff for requisitions, but that also include not just weapons, but that also includes food and potions and stuff like that you can get from requisitions, as long as you're willing to pay them, obviously. That's really mostly about it outside of the Iron Bull and the various people inside. All right, so you guys can choose to do what you want around the fort and go to the inn. You can get some whores, you get some drinks, get some stuff from the requisitions place before you bed down for the evening.
I'm going to go over to the princess. I'm going to go out to her like, be wary of who you tell you're the princess.
But I don't understand. The whole point was to come to Kalgar and go to the palace to meet the king so I can be safe. Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
We're on the edge. We don't know if they're in leagues.
They're not dragonborn. Well, you can persuade her in any way you want, so it's up to you. If you want to try to persuade her that, this is the correct path to go, you can.
Princess, we'll rest up for tonight, get us whatever wares we need, and then tomorrow we head straight to the palace. Until then, until we get to the city, until we get to the palace, don't tell anyone you're the princess.
Okay, Curtis, I trust you.
Okay, so good, and I pat her on the head, and I walk away.
She was about to do the same thing to you. So, yeah, all right, so you beat her to it. So you pat her on the head and you walk away. So she'll stay by the Iron Bull with Lorna and Gregor and Fernando and Scrappy. They'll all stay in that general area. So you guys can wander around.
I'm going to whistle for Ariel to come with me.
Okay, your little purple dragon comes with you. So Velnos, Raka, Kane, are you guys going to do anything?
Oh, actually, yeah, I'll go get drunk.
I was going to go to the inn to get some food for me and Ariel.
All right, so the Frog Brothers are going to go to the inn. Draylark and Raka, are you guys going to do anything? Velnos, Raka?
I'm going to go to the inn.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the inn.
All right, so everybody's going to go to the inn. All 4 of you walk in along with Cham's dragon. You guys go up to the counter and sit down. The bartender comes over and says, all right, what can I get you?
What's the special?
Special today is lake eel soup. Delicious.
I'll get one for me and one for the dragon.
That'll be 5 silver.
Put 5 silver on the table.
All right, he takes the 5 silver and he comes back a few moments later with 2 bowls of soup. He puts one on the counter for you, and then he puts one on the floor behind the bar for the dragon.
I put down a gold coin, get some ale and some for the bartender.
He's willing to take that, so he gives you a big flask of ale to go with your soup, and he also takes a couple shots himself. So now the rest of the guys. So Kane, what do you want?
I want your strongest drink.
So he scratches his chin for a second, then he goes under the counter and he takes out about 5 or 6 different liquor bottles with different colored liquids in them. He then proceeds to mix them all into one bottle and then shakes it up. And after he shakes it up, it appears to be smoking. He then proceeds to pour it into a glass and put it in front of you. He looks at it and says, well, if you drink that and you stay conscious, you'll be a better frog man than most real men I know.
I'll put a gold piece again, and this is how I'm looking at it right now. I want one as well.
Okay, all right. So, Kane, roll Constitution to see how well you do this. You're going to take a -5 because of the potency of this drink.
6.
All right, Kane, you slug that thing back, and as you're drinking the last drop of it, instead of swinging yourself back forward to the bar, you just kind of fall off the chair and you're out. Cham, he then puts one in front of you, and you'll have to roll.
Before I take it, I'm gonna look at the bartender. Take care of the dragon. I down it.
He nods to you. All right, so you down the drink. Now, you rolled a nat 1. So, unfortunately, what happens, because your body rejects it so fast, you immediately projectile vomit. And you vomit all over the bartender.
God, if you vomit,
I'm sorry!
Ah!
He kind of just takes out a towel from below the counter and he wipes himself off for the most part, or at least
He's
his
like,
face.
I'm used to it.
Well, that's not the first time that's happened. It probably won't be the last time that's happened, but I don't think I'm giving you any more of those.
And I pass out.
Yes, then after that, you immediately pass out. So you guys are both out. So Velnos and Rocco, what do you want to do at the bar for right now?
I'm going to sleep.
You're going to go to the room and go to sleep. Okay, so you're going to go to sleep. So Rocco, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna drink some of the same shit Kane just drank.
The bartender gives it to you. You have to roll a Constitution save with a -5. All right, Raka apparently
So he
is
just
the only
misses the
man
drink.
among you. So Raka, so he puts it in front of you, and you immediately grab it, and you just hear the doom music kick in as you down it. And then as soon as you down it, you crush the glass in your hand. Smoke starts coming out from underneath your helmet for a minute, and then it stops. And he looks at you and says, "Are you okay?"
I'm straight, dog.
I've never seen somebody down one of those and stay upright. All right, so I'm going to roll a d20 to see how long Kane and Cham are passed out.
Probably a while.
That's a 9. That's not terrible. I'm going to say that's probably going to be about 3 or 4 hours that you're passed out. So now it's in the middle of the night. It's about 12 to 1 a.m. And as you guys are in the camp, you start noticing that there's a lot of clouds and stuff that are starting to go over. It looks like a storm is coming through. It's over the Elven Forest. It's not quite over you yet. You're just watching the clouds kind of drift across. Now, I want everybody to roll a search check. Raka, you're asleep. You don't even wake up. But Kane, Velnos, and Cham. So you three guys, you notice that the lightning starts to get more and more frequent in the storm as it's getting closer. But after a moment, you see this pillar of white and whitish blue light shine up from the Elven Forest and shoot through the clouds. And as that happens, you slowly notice what it looks like a yellow snake-like creature flying up through the sky. And I want you all to roll intelligence to see if you can identify what that is. Velnos and Cham, you can tell that it's a dragon. Kane, you can tell that it looks like a legendary golden dragon, a very old one. It's rising from the ground in the Elven Forest, and you can see that the lightning around it is starting to get more and more frequent. The dragon is now it's up in the air now, but you can see that it appears to be kind of moving, but as it starts to move around, a storm cloud forms around it. So you lose sight of the dragon, but it's a storm cloud that goes from the clouds all the way down to the ground. It looks almost like a tornado, and it has lightning striking all around it. But now it appears to be moving out of the Elven Forest. It looks like it's getting closer. So the lookouts at the base are now calling this out to the other people that are there to immediately man battle stations. As you guys are kind of rushing around, the captain finds you in the courtyard and looks at you and says, "Please, you're just travelers. You need to get out of here before that thing comes. Please!"
He said comes.
Shut up, you little blue man. We're all going to die.
Speak for yourself.
We will defend this base to the last man. But you must get to safety. You are just travelers. You are not bound by military duty.
I pull out my blade. I'm like, all right, let's get to it. Come on. He's doing some jumping jacks. He's like getting pumps, stretching. Been a while since we killed a dragon.
It's been a while.